Welcome back to the channel Coins Collector. Today we are about to uncover a truly fascinating and incredible story that has captured the attention of coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history lovers all over the world. The story of the 1965 Liberty Quarter Dollar from the United States. At first glance it might look like just an ordinary coin, something you might have in your pocket or lying around in an old jar at home, but let me tell you, this is far from ordinary. This single coin holds a hidden legacy that stretches back decades, and today its market value has skyrocketed to an unbelievable $762,000. Yes, you heard that right, a single quarter worth almost $750,000, and the journey of how it got there is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, before we dive into its unbelievable value, let's step back into history. The year was 1965 and the United States was going through a time of huge change socially, politically, and economically. The demand for silver was soaring and the U.S. Mint faced a massive problem. There simply wasn't enough silver to keep producing coins for circulation. Up until 1964, quarters were made of 90% silver, but starting in 1965 everything changed. To conserve silver, the mint shifted production to a new copper-nickel clad composition that would still look shiny to the public but contained no silver at all. This was a major shift in American coinage history, and collectors today recognize it as a turning point that forever changed the way U.S. coins were made. The 1965 quarter therefore marked the beginning of a new era. Millions and millions were struck, but among all those coins certain rare examples slipped through the cracks, coins that carried errors, transitional designs, or unique minting traits that set them apart from the rest. These are the coins that have since become the holy grail for collectors because they represent not just money but history frozen in time. And while the majority of 1965 quarters are still worth only their face value of 25 cents, there exist extraordinary examples that command astronomical sums at auction. So how does a 25-cent coin transform into a piece worth more than $760,000? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and the incredible demand from collectors. Some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964, creating a coin that technically should not even exist. These silver 1965 quarters are beyond rare, and when discovered in pristine condition they send shockwaves through the numismatic world. Imagine holding a small piece of history that by accident carries with it the value of a house or even several houses. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these pieces because they are not only beautiful artifacts but also symbols of a historic transition in American coinage. Auctions have seen these coins climb to jaw-dropping figures, and the record-breaking examples have fetched over $762,000 for a single quarter. That's right, from a pocket change coin of 25 cents to a small fortune that could change someone's life forever. Even more fascinating is the fact that these coins are still out there today, hiding in plain sight. They might be tucked away in old collections, sitting in piggy banks, or passed down through family generations without anyone realizing their true worth. That mystery and that chance of discovery is part of what makes the 1965 quarter so thrilling for treasure hunters and everyday people alike. So in this video we are going to take you on a deep dive into the history of this coin, the reasons behind its incredible rarity, how to identify the valuable versions, and why it has become one of the most sought-after pieces in modern American numismatics. By the end of this journey you might just be inspired to start looking a little closer at the quarters you have lying around, because who knows, you could be holding a piece of history worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, if you are passionate about rare coins, hidden treasures in pocket change, and the fascinating stories behind the money we use every single day, then you are in exactly the right place. Today we are diving deep into one of the most intriguing and surprising coins ever struck by the United States Mint, the Liberty Quarter Dollar, dated 1981 with the D Mint mark, a coin that has not only made history but has also shocked the collecting world with its staggering current market value of $672,000. Yes, you heard that right, a simple quarter that most of us have probably seen, held, or even spent without thinking twice, can today be worth more than $500,000 if you are lucky enough to have the right one in your hands. The 1981 D Liberty Quarter comes from the Washington Quarter series, a coin that was first introduced back in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It replaced the standing Liberty Quarter, and ever since then, Washington's profile on the obverse and the proud eagle design on the reverse have become symbols of American coinage and patriotism. The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, one of the main facilities responsible for producing billions of US coins for everyday use. In 1981, millions of these quarters rolled off the presses, and to most people, they were simply small change for vending machines, parking meters, or grocery store purchases. But in the world of numismatics, not all coins are created equal. Some carry errors, some were struck under unusual conditions, and a very tiny fraction become legendary due to rarity, condition, or historical significance. The quarter itself is made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, standard for circulation coins of its era, weighing 5.67 grams and measuring 24.3 millimeters in diameter. While the majority of 1981 D quarters are worth face value, the excitement begins when we talk about special varieties and mint state conditions. Collectors pay extraordinary attention to sharpness of strike, luster, and absence of wear. High-grade examples graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can command thousands of dollars. But the true star of the show, the reason why the coin we are highlighting today has achieved legendary status, is because of its combination of rarity and pristine preservation, turning what most consider spare change into a life-changing fortune. The numismatic history of the Washington quarter is full of surprises, but the 1981 D in particular has been a hidden gem. For decades, it circulated quietly, until rare examples started surfacing in unbelievable condition, often with strong strikes, mirror-like finishes, and virtually no contact marks. These are the coins that auction houses go wild over, the ones that send collectors into bidding wars, and the ones that have recently shocked the world by reaching a market value of $672,000. Imagine digging through your change drawer or coin jar and realizing that the small silver-colored coin in your hand is not worth 25 cents but enough money to buy a luxury car, pay off a home mortgage, or completely change your financial future. So in today's video, we are going to explore why the 1981 D Liberty quarter is so special, what makes it stand out from the millions of other quarters produced that year, how you can identify if you have one of these rare treasures, and of course, we will dive into the detailed history of the coin's origins, its journey through American pockets and purses, and finally its incredible rise to fame in the collector's market. Stick around because by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to look for in your own change, and perhaps you might be holding on to a $672,000 fortune without even realizing it.